Historic Royal Wedding 2025, Princess Leonor and Christian captivate Spain. A future queen, a foreign groom, a nation divided. And yet, when she said, "I do," Spain didn't break. It bloomed. April 12, 2025. Madrid did not wake up to just another day. It woke up to the beginning of a new chapter in Spanish history. The sun rose over a city dressed in silence. Tense, hopeful, watching. And then, the bells rang. Princess Leonor de Borbón-Ortiz, heir to the Spanish throne, walked into the cathedral, not just as a royal, not just as the daughter of a king, but as a woman who had made the most controversial, beautiful, and public choice of her life. She was getting married to Christian Andersen, a name that, 2 years ago, sparked confusion, then criticism, then curiosity. Now, that name echoes through the streets of Spain with a strange new weight. The weight of acceptance, awe, and the surprising realization that this love story has captivated the entire nation. But how did we get here? Let's go back. From the moment she was born, Leonor was more than a daughter. She was a symbol, the firstborn child of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. The first female heir to the Spanish throne in centuries with a clear, direct path to rule. She was raised in palaces, trained in silence, watched by millions. Every word, every outfit, every step, she was the princess of the present, the queen of the future. But when she met Christian, the present and future collided in a way that nobody in the palace saw coming. Christian Andersen, not a prince, not a noble, not even Spanish, born in Denmark to a family of professors and peacekeepers, educated in Copenhagen, London, and The Hague, a scholar of international law, quiet, reserved, devoted to global causes. His life was built around diplomacy and justice, not tiaras and tradition. Their paths crossed at a European Youth Summit on constitutional reform. It was supposed to be a handshake, a photo, maybe a headline, but Leonor lingered, and Christian asked a second question. That's when everything changed. What began as emails and official correspondence turned into weekend visits. Then holidays. Then sightings in Geneva, Madrid, even Seville. And then, one grainy photo, taken by a tourist, of the two holding hands near the Palacio Real at midnight. Suddenly, the story broke. Spain reacted as it always does, passionately, loudly, and without mercy. He's not royal. He's not Catholic. He's not Spanish. He's not one of us. But Leonor didn't flinch. In her first official comment about the relationship, she said simply, "The people will learn to love what I already do." And they did. Now, we fast forward to today. The royal wedding. A moment so steeped in symbolism, no one could have predicted the emotional reaction it stirred across the country. Let's start with the ceremony. Held at Almedina Cathedral, where her parents were married 2 decades earlier. But this time, the mood was different. Less state, more soul. Leonor arrived not in a horse-drawn carriage, but in a quiet, unmarked vehicle. No dramatic entrance, no waving, no show, just her, stepping out, alone, in a custom gown by Spanish designer Sofia Maestre. The dress, simple, modern, regal. A nod to heritage, but a refusal to be bound by it. She wore no tiara, no crown, just a delicate veil embroidered with the initials of her parents, her sister, and, at the very bottom, Christian's. Inside, the cathedral was filled with guests, but not the usual suspects. Yes, foreign dignitaries sat in the front rows. But beside them, teachers, doctors, activists, young women from Asturias, friends from Leonor's military academy. One guest, a Syrian refugee whom Christian had helped resettle. A clear message: this wedding was not just for royalty, it was for the world. And then came Christian. He walked in alone, no royal escort, no ceremonial sword, just a steady stride and a soft smile. He greeted King Felipe with a quiet bow. Queen Letizia reached for his hand. Sofia, Leonor's younger sister, nodded with tears already in her eyes. Then, Leonor walked down the aisle. No father on her arm. No grand music. Just the sound of a single cello. And for the first time, Spain saw not the princess but the woman. When they met at the altar, Christian whispered something that was caught only by lip readers. "You're not just my future. You're my compass." And Leonor, barely audible, replied, "Let's lead together." The vows were short, personal, raw. "Christian, I vow to never compete with your crown, only protect the heart that carries it." Leonor, "I vow to never let fear silence the truth between us." And when the Archbishop of Madrid pronounced them husband and wife, there was no royal trumpet. Just the ringing of cathedral bells, and something no one expected. Applause. Inside the cathedral, on the streets, from screens around the globe. Then came the surprise. Instead of heading straight to the palace, Leonor and Christian walked, hand in hand, through the Plaza de la Armeria. No guards, no barriers, just people, Spanish people, crying, cheering, chanting her name. One woman shouted, "Viva nuestra reina valiente! Long live our brave queen!" And this was no empty phrase. Because make no mistake, what Leonor did today was brave. She chose love over optics. Truth over tradition. She took a risk most royals never dare to. And because of that, she brought Spain together, not in perfect agreement, but in shared awe. Back at the palace, the reception was no less symbolic. Instead of a ballroom, it was held in the palace gardens. A mix of Mediterranean food, Danish pastries, and Spanish wines. Live music, not a royal orchestra, but a local folk band from Oviedo. Leonor's speech lasted only 3 minutes. But it will be remembered for generations. She said, "I was born a princess. I trained to be a queen. But I chose to be a woman first. Christian didn't ask me to give up my duty, he offered to carry it with me." The crowd stood, not out of obligation, but because they believed her. What followed was a dance. Not rehearsed, not choreographed, just the two of them. Arms wrapped, eyes locked. And in that moment, the monarchy looked human. Across Spain, celebrations erupted. In Granada, church bells rang without orders. In Barcelona, thousands gathered to watch the replay on giant screens. In Bilbao, firecrackers lit the sky. In Cadiz, schoolchildren waved handmade flags. Even in quieter towns, people left flowers outside city halls and royal buildings. Why? Because Spain wasn't just witnessing a royal wedding. Spain was witnessing transformation, and the world noticed. The New York Times called it, "the wedding that dared." Le Monde, a monarchy rewritten by a woman. El País, she didn't marry into power. She expanded it. And across social media, one phrase trended worldwide, "El Eligio." Why Gano? She chose. And she won. Of course, challenges lie ahead. There are still traditionalists who worry about Christian's role. Legal experts still debate succession laws. There are questions about titles, religious differences, political implications. But those are battles for another day. Today was about one thing, truth. The truth that love, when chosen boldly, doesn't weaken a throne, it strengthens it. That royalty, when lived authentically, doesn't distance itself from the people, it draws them closer. And that leadership, in its purest form, starts not with power, but with vulnerability. Princess Leonor showed the world what that looks like, and Christian, standing quietly beside her, reminded us all what it means to love someone powerful, without fearing her power. This was more than a ceremony. It was a turning point. A new Spain has emerged. And it's not wearing a crown out of duty. It's wearing it, because she earned it. Together, Leonor and Christian captivated a nation. But more importantly, they inspired it. And the world is still watching.